Hey, this is Jeff, and welcome back to the Fallout New Vegas All Skills 100 Dash. We spent the last episode getting set up with the right special attributes and traits, and scrounging enough caps to afford the intelligence implant to get our intelligence to 10 before we hit level 2. Today we're going to collect as many of the skill books as we can from the base game. I planned what should be a reasonably efficient route so we're not skipping back and forth all over the map. We left off outside the Freeside North Gate, and there's one in Cerulean Robotics, so we might as well grab it right now. This is where you can find a robot for James Garrett, but at the moment all I'm interested in is the book. The only enemies are a few giant rats, so I might be able to get in and out without even fighting them, but if I have to kill a few, it won't be that many XP anyway. I had to be really careful about avoiding XP before I got the implant, and while I don't need to be quite that fanatical from here on out, I'm still going to keep a fairly close eye on it until we've collected all the books. And it should be right over here between these desks. And of course the rats are right on top of it. All the stuff you have in here to chew on, and the one thing I want is the thing you're suddenly interested in. Stop it. Okay. It's right here. And while we're in Freeside, I want to do some gambling at the Atomic Wrangler. If I break the bank, it should be enough money for another implant.
Hello.
With luck of 8, it won't be quite the free money cakewalk it is with luck 10, but you still can't lose if you're paying attention. Let's get some chips.
Welcome to the Atomic Wrangler. Looking to exchange?
I'll double down on a 15. Ah. Oh, and you do get XP from gambling, so I'm glad I stuck with the plan last week and got all the money the hard way. You know, by stealing from people who trusted us and looting the dead. We have 15 skill points, and we'll put it all in lockpick. If you suspect that means we'll find a book behind a hard lock in the near future, you're absolutely correct. And this is a perk level. I don't think I mentioned this last week, but another difference between Fallout 3 and New Vegas is that you get a perk every level in Fallout 3, but New Vegas only gives you a perk every other level, which makes sense because the level cap is higher. We'll take intense training and put the point in endurance. If you suspect that means we'll be getting more implants in the near future, you're right again. So all the casinos do that thing where they interrupt and comp you some stuff if you're on a hot streak. At the Wrangler, it's just a message box, but most of them have a floor manager who runs up and actually talks to you. Either way, I know my luck isn't going to change for the worse because unlike the real world, I can measure it and my Pip-Boy says it's 8. So let's keep playing. And that's it for the Wrangler. Let's cash out and buy another implant. It's always a little strange when I visit Dr. Usanagi. Last week it was my fault for getting her out of bed, but during my Kohito Ergo Sum walkthrough she was getting drunk, and today...
You're back. Do you need medical attention?
I want to buy another implant.
All right. Let me do a quick test to make sure your body can handle another implant. All right. You're healthy enough to handle another one. Which surgery are you considering?
Can you make me luckier?
If I implant the probability calculator in your frontal lobe, you'll be able to calculate odds a little better. It's not quite the same as making you luckier, but you'll be able to nudge things your way more often. I can do the implant for 4,000 caps.
Here's the caps.
Have a seat in the auto dock. This will take a few hours.
I guess if your countertop's too high, just dremel out a little slot in the side to hold your lunch plate. Now, we still have 2 free implant slots, and we're even better at blackjack. And if you suspect that means we're finally going to see the strip, you're 3 for 3. More importantly, because every 2 points of luck add 1 point to every skill, and the calculation is rounded up, that just added 1 to all of our skills. And I just fast-traveled to the wrong gate. Try that again.
You look new to Freeside, so here's a little advice, friend. Don't go past the Southgate greeter without talking to it first.
I know. I passed the credit check last night.
Goodbye.
He didn't get to force greet me at the time because he was helping the Kings fight some Freeside thugs, which I've never seen him do before, but it was convenient, so I won't look a gift horse in the mouth. Oh, no! I passed the check? Oh, that guy. I guess the fight last night interrupted his routine just like it did with old Ben. Anyway. Victor should force greet us here in a second.
Howdy, partner. You've come for a piece, haven't you? Welcome to New Vegas.
If you follow the main quest line the normal way, you probably have met him at least once, maybe 2 or 3 times before you get to this strip. The game handles it pretty gracefully if you haven't, even if it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to ask what he's doing here if you never saw him before. And I'm going to completely ignore the quest objective to search the strip for the man who shot me. The Tops has a slightly higher limit than Gomorrah, but I don't want to risk running into Benny just yet. We'll still win more than enough in here to cover the cost of 2 implants. There's also a book in here, but it requires either picking a very hard lock, which I can't, or doing a bunch of side quests, which I don't want to. At least, not right now. We'll see if it makes sense later.
Hey, no one but Omertas are allowed to carry guns into Gomorrah. Check your weapons with me.
With my sneak skill, I couldn't get a toothpick past this guy, so take them all.
You'll get these back on your way out.
All right, let's gamble. Always double down on an 11. Not in real life, obviously. The limit here is 9,000, so that should... Yep.
Okay, that's that. No more games for you. Go rob the Tops. You're done here. Have some drinks, talk to some dancers, but you are done at my tables.
Okay, you know the drill. Cash out and back to the clinic. Maybe she's changing a light bulb? Anyway.
You're back. Do you need medical attention?
Another implant, please.
All right. Let me do a quick test to make sure your body can handle another implant. All right. You're healthy enough to handle another one. Which surgery are you considering?
It might seem strange to take the strength implant next because strength is only associated with 1 skill, so it's only worth 2 skill points. But strength 2 lets us use a few more weapons without penalty, and the extra 10 pounds of carry capacity won't hurt either.
I can implant the hypertrophy accelerator for 4,000 caps. It will boost your adrenal glands and quickly increase your muscle mass.
And now a few more hit points would be nice, but I'm going to be putting the next few ranks of intense training into endurance, so we're probably better off with agility for the action points and to get sneak moving up, and hence my agility.
The reflex booster does exactly what it says, speeds up your reaction times. For 4,000 caps, I can attach the implant to your central nervous node.
Okay, I said we're doing books this episode, and now we're ready. And oddly enough, we're going to start back in Goodsprings. Just one more thing. I need to pop into the saloon and see Sunny smiles. I won't be doing her whole tutorial target shooting gecko thing, but I do need to talk to her before we move on. And then I promise the next place we go will have a skill book.
Cheyenne, stay. Don't worry, she won't bite unless I tell her to.
I'm a little short on caps. I don't suppose there's any work available.
Not in Goodsprings, no. But if you're up for a little scavenging, there's always the schoolhouse. Most of what's in there is junk, but there's this old safe that even Easy Pete wasn't able to crack with dynamite. If you want to take a shot at it, take these.
Actually, I already cracked that safe.
Oh. Well, go ahead and keep the stuff I gave you anyway. It'll be more useful to you than me.
Thanks. See ya.
Until next time.
All right. We didn't come to Goodsprings just to get Sunny's lockpicking magazine, but it will save us a trip later. The real reason is that it was the closest map marker to our first destination. I know we're kind of retracing our steps here, but if we tried to pick up these books on the way to the clinic last week, we'd have leveled up before we got there.
Hold up. There are death claws all over the damn place north of here. I'd turn back if I were you. If you want to get to New Vegas, you're better off heading east from Prim and then looping north. It's a heck of a lot safer.
Thanks for the warning. Since you can't get into the quarry, What do the workers do to pass their downtime around here? Read, maybe? So much for the agility implant. My sneak skill is so terrible that I'm being detected by people who are asleep. Oh, okay. That guy's awake. Think this calls for the old drag and hide trick. If I hit the take key while I'm detected, he'll either take it right back or attack me, depending on his disposition and my reputation. But if I hit the grab key and manually drag it to a spot where he's not looking, then he will never know. Smooth. Oh, hidden. Got it. And conveniently, the other one is on the shelf right above my head. Okay, we're out. Next stop, the NCR Correctional Facility. It might be slightly quicker to fast travel to Hidden Valley, but it really wouldn't save much time, and there are scorpions near the fast travel marker, so it's safer just to walk back down the road. I don't think I can talk my way past Dawes because I don't have any reputation with the powder gangers, but there are a couple other options. Your ability to pickpocket is based on your sneak skill, so I have no chance of swiping anything valuable. But the difficulty of picking a pocket is based on the weight and value of what you're trying to steal, and his front gate key has 0 weight and 0 value. The trick will be getting into a position where I'm hidden so I can even try it.
Look at you. Walking in here like you're one of us. Don't you know this is powder ganger territory?
You don't say. Guess I'll just be going then.
Yup.
If this doesn't work out, there are a couple places where you can jump over the fence from the nearby hills, which oddly doesn't turn them hostile. I was hidden there for a second, but he was looking right at me. Never mind. So far, so good. The prompt to unlock the door is still red, but I think they only turn hostile if you pick the lock. Since we're using the key, we should be okay. We cool?
Any law. Hey, I've been sent to tell you that while you're not exactly a friend, we know you've helped us out some all the same. We figure some kind of truce is in order. As long as you don't come too close to any of our camps, we'll let you pass without trying to kill you. Of course, the truce is off once we know you're an enemy.
Perfect.
See ya.
I assume that was his response for mixed reputation when your good and bad rep scores are equal. Ours are equal because they're both 0, so it didn't make a lot of sense, but good enough. Here's the book on the second floor of the admin building, and it's stealing. We'll just close the door and hope nobody notices. Sorry, wrong floor. I'll just be going. Looks like we got away with it. Next up, we can get 2 books at Helios One. Fortunately, we have a map marker already, so we don't have to walk back through Scorpion Gulch. One of the books is a quest reward, so this won't be a quick smash and grab job. We have to complete that lucky old sun. So this is where things go from virtually risk-free to, oh crap, we're gonna die. Let's talk to Lieutenant Haggerty.
This is a restricted area. State your business.
And we have more than enough science skill to convince her we're here to help.
No need. We already have an expert hard at work on it. Then again, our expert is an idiot. Hell, he might as well be a saboteur. I guess you couldn't do any worse. Have him fill you in on the details. He's in the back of the building. You'll know him when you see him. Keeps his sunglasses on all the time, even when he's sleeping.
We'll make a quick detour on the way to the lab. One of the books is in a bedroom upstairs, right here. Some light. Well, there it is on the bed. And it's not even stealing. To the lab.
Hey, man.
Despite what Lieutenant Haggerty and the quest log tell us, we're going to ignore the idiot in sunglasses and talk to his friend, who should be... over here.
It's unusual to see a new face here. Are you a soldier or a scientist?
This part is very important. To get the book as part of the reward, first you have to make Ignacio trust you when you first talk to him, and you have to route the power the way he wants when we get to that point. My interest in this place is scientific.
Then we have that in common. Whom do you typically work with?
Keep the peace works, but we can get some background with this speech check. This is your turf. For all I know, you could have me killed for my allegiance. Who are you with?
Very well, yes. I'm part of the followers of the apocalypse. If you're not familiar, we seek peace and the spread of knowledge. Knowledge that must never be lost to the world. Now your turn.
I want what you want.
That's reassuring. Although many who've made that claim to the followers of the apocalypse over the years have had less than pure intentions. But if it's really as you say, then take my advice. This installation carries with it dangers that no one here has realized. Take care what you do here and who you listen to. Some things are best left buried with the old world.
Then be honest with him. The NCR asked me to increase the power output.
Then I would say do it. As long as the power of this plant is committed to the regional grid and not to a weapon, we are safe. If you're the one to restore output, then you can route the power where you choose, and they'll never be the wiser. I can't get you past the security in the tower, but I can be of some help. I've discovered a password for one of the mirror control terminals outside. You'll need it.
And this is the next critical question. Where should I route the power?
Oh, the NCR has their own designs for it, no doubt, but resist the urge to send it only to the thriving communities. The need for power is great everywhere. Distributing it evenly is the most rational and humane choice.
Gotcha. Will do.
Goodbye.
And now we can talk to the idiot in sunglasses to get the password to the other terminal.
Who the hell are you? They bring you in to replace me? They're replacing me, aren't they? The mirrors outside aren't aimed right, so we're running at 1% efficiency, and I guess that just isn't good enough for some assholes. There's these 2 terminals outside. They control the mirrors. I tried fooling with them, but didn't get very far. You'd have to get them to talk to the mainframe up in the tower, then do the rest from up there. I'm guessing, but it sounds good, right? Here. You'll want this. It's the password to one of the terminals outside. Found it written on one of the stalls in the bathroom.
So obviously don't put too much faith in anything he tells you. However, he's the only way you can get the password for the Western Reflector Control Terminal. There are multiple copies of the Eastern Reflector Control Terminal scattered around, so if you don't care about the book, you can skip talking to Ignacio, but you can't complete the quest without talking to Fantastic. The Western Terminal is surrounded by traps and mines, and I always set off at least one of them, but forewarned is forearmed. You can see there are bear traps. And this tripwire is for a rigged shotgun. Now the mines. Oh, disarm it before it goes. Oh! Wrong one. Great. Every single dime. Anyway, reset the mainframe connection. And why aren't my stim packs hotkeyed? There's the limb healing tutorial. Yes, I know, that's what I'm trying to fix. Set the hotkey. Good. Okay, the Eastern Terminal doesn't have any traps, but it has guard dogs. A lot of people think it's weird that they're always hostile no matter what your reputation to the NCR. And while the NCR troopers will aggro if you kill the dogs that patrol with them, they don't care if you kill the ones in there. But we know from Fantastic and Ignacio that the NCR banned their own personnel from the tower after some of them were killed exploring it. So my theory is they just threw a pack of feral dogs in the terminal enclosure because it's a pretty good deterrent for curious troopers who might otherwise screw with stuff. All right. I don't know where the other one is, and If it's not between me and the terminal, I really don't care. This place is chock full of robots and turrets, and while the laser pistol is fine for rats and dogs, it's not ideal for enemies with high damage threshold, so we're going to compromise the automated defenses with software countermeasures and utilize tactical evasion to support ad hoc recon for an exfiltration point. Or in layman's terms, hack the turrets and run around like crazy until we find the exit. One common. There you go. There are so many robots they'll eventually overwhelm the turret, but it'll thin them out a bit at least. Sounds like that's working already.
Requested.
Not perfect, but could have been worse. My laser pistol condition is low enough that it's jamming on reloads, which isn't good. Take care of my crippled head and see if I have a weapon repair kit. Good, I do. Now, there's a Gutsy in the next room, and I don't even want to deal with that.
What's the matter, you pansy-ass Pico? Getting tired?
I know there's a way to disable some of the Protectrons in this area, and Courier Jeff would totally do that, but it requires a degree of subtlety that Max simply doesn't possess.
Engaging hostile target.
And that's a dead end. Oh, and there's the Gutsy. Great.
God will understand.
Oh, and my leg's crippled. And there are the Protectrons I didn't disable. Glad I hotkeyed my stim packs. That's not even the right way.
For your safety, please take cover until the lawbreaker is dealt with.
Yep. If you Google what's the exact opposite of subtlety, this is going to be at the top of the search results. Yeah, I think this is the right way. Tutorial. Can't believe this is the first lock I picked. I think we're safe. Pretty sure they can't follow you through that door. Anyway, we need to fix this generator. Well, my repair's high enough, so I must not have any scrap metal. There's got to be some laying around somewhere. Well, if there's any scrap metal in here, I can't find it. Hopefully my science is high enough to activate the repair bot. Yep, 45. Good to go. Probably should have tried that first. Life hacking tip 27. If you have an extension cord with a short, just zap it with an electrical arc a few times while it's still plugged in. Works every time. Now we can use the mainframe to reroute the power, configure the grid. There are pros and cons to the different options, but like I said earlier, we only get the book if we do it the way Ignacio wants, so full region, and now we go outside and realign the reflector, and we're just about done. You can only do it during certain hours of peak sunlight, and we're apparently outside that window. What time is it? Oh, great. We're like an hour late. Well, I guess we'll wait until morning. There we go. Now, I really don't feel like backtracking through all those robots, so I'm just going to fast travel back to the front door. I diverted power to the grid.
I saw that on the monitors here, and you sent it to everyone. Very admirable. Now that the NCR has more or less what they want, hopefully their curiosity about the plan is satisfied, and they'll dig no deeper. The followers will be grateful. Here, take these as a parting gift. I hope you'll find them useful.
That completes the quest. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
And now we finally have a rep, so we get the tutorial message about reputation. We're accepted by the followers. We'll eventually need to get that up to idolized because there's a book in their safe house, but that's a start. And we get to level up. I'm torn here. There are 2 situations coming up soon where skill checks aren't technically required, but they'd save us a lot of trouble. 1 repair 50 and 1 speech 65. The speech check avoids a major hassle, and if I knew for sure we'd level up again before we get there, that's what I'd do. But I can get repair to 50 right now, so I think I'm going to go for the sure thing. Put 13 points in repair, and the other 2 in speech. And if we're really lucky, we'll level up twice and be able to do both. But first, there's a book in Ranger Indy's bungalow in Novak. If he's just going to sit at the radio, we'll use the dragon hide trick. Maybe take it into the bathroom. Hidden. Yoink. See you later, Andy. So, I've stolen everything of value from people who helped me after I was shot and left for dead, and then just threw half of it away in the middle of the desert. I've stolen the only source of entertainment that a bunch of unemployed quarry workers had, and now I've stolen a book on medicine from a disabled veteran. I said we'd get our skills to 100. I didn't say we'd be proud of ourselves. And keeping with our theme of wild swings between complete safety and knuckle-biting terror, the next book is at the Southern Nevada Wind Farm, which, if you've never had the misfortune of visiting, is swarming with cazadores. There's the book. And let me turn off the radio so the copyright trolls don't come out from under their bridge. I'm guessing from the way the game keeps telling me to check out the VATS tutorial that the cazadores did notice us on the way in and they're waiting right outside the door. But if the game thinks I'm gonna fight them, the game is high. I'm gonna make a mad dash in the direction of Helios One and hope I get beyond their pursuit radius before they sting me to death. And I hear them right behind me. Oh yeah! Run away! Don't know how far they'll follow me. But... good. They gave up. Well, we just about got away with that. The next one's in Vault 11, and we could just take Route 95 the whole way. But it's probably safer to go over to Helios 1 and skirt around the back of the dry lake bed like we did in Episode 1. I think it's just giant rats and mantises in here until you solve the mystery of the vault experiment, which we will not be doing. So for once, the magnitude and danger is just about right for a level 3 character. Or would be if I had more than 5 energy cells left. Great. Oh boy. What else do we have? A couple of police batons. Can get the damage up a bit if I use one to repair the other one. And considering my melee skill is under 20 and my strength is 2, I think I'll finally take the game's advice and use VATS for once. Whack it. Oh, holy crap. That worked better than it had any right to. The book's right here in the women's dorm, like 20 feet into the living quarters. Doubt we'll even talk to Sarah Weintraub, but I'll pick up a couple of vault suits just in case. And a footlocker might have ammo. And it does, but not the kind I need. Alright, let's get out of here. Don't make me beat you with a stick. Our next destination is the 188 rest stop, which is literally right around the corner. The next book is actually in Hidden Valley, but if we pick up Veronica first, we'll be able to get in without doing half a dozen fetch quests for Elder McNamara. And if we're lucky, Michelle will have some energy cells for sale. And what is up with that lag? I noticed some frame rate issues last week, so I did some hard disk maintenance. My C drive is 75% free now, and the drive where Fraps puts raw video is 90% free. I don't have any mods active. My load order is nothing but New Vegas and the official DLC. I'm running the game at 720p, and I don't have anything else running except the game and Fraps, so the frame rate ought to be as good as it can be.
Welcome to the 188 Slop and Shop. How can I help you?
Ammo.
Have a look.
Nope. Anyway, I swear it ran smoother than this when I was doing the Koito Ergo Sum walkthrough.
No offense, but you look like you've traveled a long way down some bad roads.
I think maybe I recorded the Koito Ergo Sum stuff on the laptop before Steam bricked my New Vegas install over there. No, because that's when I started the Fallout 4 series with Nasty Nate. And then I got New Vegas running on this PC and did another full walkthrough of Koito Ergo Sum to show off stuff that was different with a mail courier, yada yada. Veronica, you gonna get us in? Yeah, sometimes she gets stuck in alert mode because of the rad scorpions outside. You okay now? Let's try that again.
Hold on, I've got this.
There we go.
I'd like a large atomic shake and a double Brahmin burger. And easy on the agave sauce this time.
We gave you a password, Veronica. It's for your safety.
I know where you live, Ramos. Open up.
For Pete's sake. Opening up. Welcome back, Veronica.
The book's here in Schuler's trash can. And she seems determined not to leave me alone with it, so you know the drill. I think it's maybe Veronica who's detecting me now, not Schuler.
What's up?
It's time for us to part ways.
Why does everyone always say that?
Because they only want you to get them into Hidden Valley?
Okay, then I guess I'll be back at the 188. Maybe digging in some dirt for scrap metal or something.
Okay, maybe it wasn't Veronica. But I'm gonna find some corner in here where I'm not detected, even if I have to drag it all the way back to the exit door. And if I'm still detected there, I'll just hit space and bolt. Oh, hidden. Yoink. Bye, Ramos. The Elder was busy. I'll come back later. No, I won't. The bad news is I still don't have any energy cells. The good news is I said last week that 95 is completely safe from here to Freeside as long as you don't wander into the suburbs south of Camp McCarran. The bad news is we're not going to Freeside. We're wandering into the suburbs south of Camp McCarran. The good news is we're going to REPCONN HQ, and there's a 100% safe way to get the books once we're inside. The bad news is we have to go right past the fiends who killed Ranger Morales in that building right there. The good news is it looks like they might not have spawned because I haven't talked to his widow yet. Or they might just be on the other side of the building. Either way, I'm not looking that gift horse in the mouth. There are many ways to get what the game assumes will be the main reward in this building, and that wealth of options is typical of locations and quests in New Vegas. That's what makes this game so great. The way we'll be doing it doesn't require combat, stealth, or anything other than a bit of patience.
Welcome to REPCONN headquarters, Rocketeer. Come all this way to see our little facility, have you?
Yeah, I'll take the tour.
Excellent, excellent. Please be patient. The tour will begin in just a moment.
Now, while the real treasure only requires patience, one of the books is behind a hard-locked door, which is why we needed the lockpick magazine from Sunny. It's in the gift shop. Back here.
In the lead-lined case behind me is a spent radioactive rod. Refining our production methods has resulted in higher yields of fuel over time. That's why.
This door isn't marked as trespassing, so with lockpick 75 we can break in without pissing anybody off. There's another door with an average lock that we need to get through to get the other two books, and it is marked as trespassing, so even though we could pick it, we don't want to. Because if the alarm goes off, this place is a nightmare. But the robot unlocks it for us at the end of the tour, which is where the patience comes in. Speaking of patience. There we go.
To my right, you can see a sample of some old safety barrels REPCONN once used to store radioactive waste. Perfectly safe. On my left is an example of a mountain of REPCONN safety barrels some legislators claim are poisoning our environment. Ridiculous.
And the book is right over here. We probably won't be doing the quest that requires those model rockets, but they weigh 0, so we might as well take them just in case. And no reason not to unlock this safe either. Oh, I think you just opened the door.
This is the final stop on our tour. This model of our solar system is a small example of where the partnership between ROBCO and REPCONN hopes to go. See those little rockets zipping about? They are manned by robots, tirelessly looking for resources to mine on planets beyond our own. And that's it for our tour today, Rocketeers. ROBCO and its tiny partner REPCONN thank you. Any further questions, please feel free to ask.
This side room has a security badge for the second floor. If you can pick the planetarium lock without getting caught, that works too, or there are other ways to safely access the second floor that don't require you to come in here at all. But if you wait for the tour guide, you don't even need any lockpick skill. The badge also unlocks the door the dead raiders were trying to get into. And back here, this is also completely optional, but it's worth it. The motherlode of microfusion cells. And while that's not what my laser pistol takes, I won't be using the laser pistol much longer. Plasma rifle takes microfusion cells, but it requires strength 3. I will take it, just because it's worth money. Right down the hall is a very hard-locked door we can't pick, and the stairs to the second floor. We'll see if we can't get into the room behind that mysterious door later, but for right now, the next book is in the first room on the left on the second floor. Right over here on this desk. Oh, that lock was enough XP to level up. We'll put 15 points in speech. And at 4th level, we obviously take the Educated perk, the first time it's available. And finish looting. There are multiple ways to get authorized access to the 3rd floor, but the easiest is if you have really high luck or really low intelligence. Might as well do some looting until one of the robots challenges us. So it is worth decent money. And around the corner, there's a Dead Brotherhood patrol that Elder McNamara would have asked us to find if we bothered talking to him. We probably won't be doing that quest, but we might as well grab the holotape just in case. We don't have enough carry capacity left for the power armor, but we should be able to take the rest. And the other one, same thing. We'll combine the laser rifles to save the weight and increase the value.
3rd floor access is for executives only. Please identify.
Ice cream?
Thank you, sir. Have a nice day.
So yeah, in addition to using tech skills or stealth or brute force, if you're really stupid or really lucky, you can just blurt out ice cream and it turns out that's the password. And we have a few pounds of carry capacity left, so we might as well do some more looting before we get the next keycard. So right over here, on the other side of the collapsed wall from the Dead Brotherhood patrol, there's this guy with a briefcase. Excuse me? Anyway, the briefcase has the 3rd floor security card, but it doesn't just give you access to the 3rd floor. Oh no, it's much more than that. Back on the 2nd floor, there are 2 doors that lead down to the 1st floor. The one we came up, and the other one that was locked. And guess what the 3rd floor security card opens? That door. In here, there's a collapsed floor somewhere. There it is. Which leads us to this very hard locked door that was at the other end of the hall from the room with all the microfusion cells, except we're on the other side of it. And apparently the 3rd floor security card opens it too. Anyway, the last book is on top of this safe, along with even more microfusion cells. But the reason for all the security and what the game thinks is the real reward is over here, the Q35 matter modulator. And of course I'm over encumbered, but I'll drop anything except a skill book to keep this, because while it's a nice to have, it's a very nice to have. Compared to a standard plasma rifle, DPS is 50% higher, critical damage is 30% higher, it takes less action points in VATS, it's 3 times as durable, weighs less, and the strength requirement is only 2. I can use it without penalty. So let's drop some junk. Oh, and unlike the standard version that shoots slow-moving plasma balloons that enemies can dodge with relative ease, the projectile speed on this is much faster. So, I just went from scraping by with a crappy laser pistol that was out of ammo to arguably the best plasma weapon in the game, with over 600 microfusion cells. You might almost suspect I planned this. So, with the skyline of Vegas shining in the distance, I'm going to call it a day. I'll see you next week.